Great to see you, bud.
Happy to be here.
Welcome
bro.
back to the show. And before we get into this, I want to congratulate you. You have 2 little babies now, right?
2 little babies, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, the last time I was on Broadway, it was a little different schedule. I didn't have, I wasn't waking up so early.
Exactly.
The last time.
Yeah, it's a little. Is it much tougher now?
It's a little tougher now, yeah, but it's worth it. It's
What do the kids think of Daddy acting?
Oh, my daughter loves it. My son, he's only 2. I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. But Lucy's seen the show a handful of times, and she loves it. But she wants to come every weekend. But the first time she saw it, she saw me. I have to kiss another woman in the show, and the whole cast was watching for her reaction. And she, she was just properly horrified. She thought I was ending my marriage, in front of her, just ruining our family right in front of her little face.
Oh no, my God.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Yeah. I think about you more than you know because because I saw you in Hamilton, and gosh, you were unbelievable in that job. You know that. You won the Tony Award. You're the first face. You're the first person to say anything in the whole show. You start the whole show off. You, like, when that curtain opens, it's just you.
Yeah.
And I think about that. I go, that's so much pressure. And I've seen you do it 3 times. I'm lucky enough to see you do it 3 times. And you nail it every single time. You are amazing. Do you like that pressure?
Yeah, I was thinking about you when I was doing that.
You were thinking about me?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I do. I just loved, I loved what Lin had written so much. The only reason to come to the theater is for tremendous writing. Writing is king in the theater, and I couldn't have found a better piece than Hamilton at that time. I couldn't have found a better piece than Mr. Davis's Purlie Victorious at this time. It's so extraordinary, and so that's what gives me the confidence to get out there. It's not because I'm so great. It's because these great writers are so great.
I don't know. You're pretty great, buddy. I have a picture of you with your Tony Award here. Come on.
Yeah.
They don't give these out to everybody, but they don't give this to everybody. You crushed it. I wanted to ask you because I think last month I saw you did a thing. It was Broadway for Biden, and the president was there watching. You teamed up with Lin again.
Yeah, it was the first time we've sung together in about 7 years. We're only like 2 years away from the 10-year anniversary of Hamilton, the Hamilton premiere downtown.
Right.
You came downtown and just really gave us such a boost. You came on this show and you told the world about the show that you'd seen. So
because Questlove told me it was at Public, right?
Yeah.
And Questlove was like, you got to go see this play. And I was like, all right. And then we went, and I went with my wife, and she was like, I don't understand the rapping about Alexander Hamilton. I go, I don't know. And dude, we were crying after your first thing. I was like, this is the greatest thing I ever saw.
Yeah.
And that's 10 years ago?
10 years, bro.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so we got together for a good cause to raise some money for the president.
Do you get nervous around the president, or?
Terrified. But
you are. But you also performed in front of Obama and Michelle Obama.
That was the most meaningful. It wasn't that Tony night was great, Grammy night was great, but performing as an actor, like this is sometimes a silly profession, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But that it can be raised to that level, that the leader of the free world could make, clear his schedule for 45 minutes. That we might do something that he thought was important enough to make time. It was just, it was like, I just think like that's what's possible, every now and again when you're part of something like that.
Anything's possible, yeah. Since Hamilton, you've just been nonstop, one of the hardest working men in show business. You're so talented. You have a new album coming out November 17th.
Yes, sir.
But this one is called When a Crooner Dies, is the name of this album. Is this your 5th or 6th album?
This is my 5th album.
You have 5 albums,
I
buddy.
do, yeah. Most of the ones that people know about are the Christmas ones. This is I love those too, but this is all original music. It's deeply personal, the most personal one. When I started making albums, my producer, my best friend, my brother, he told me, at some point, I don't want you to have any more secrets. I want you to whisper those secrets onto these records. And so yeah, it's been a really wonderful thing having this outlet, to be vulnerable and honest.
How do you get the time to do all of it and have kids and be on Broadway? I mean, and get rave reviews. I mean, the congrats. The play's doing great. You actually have a little good news you can share with the audience.
Yes, theater is still making its way back. I believe in a healthy, thriving American theater for the good of our nation, you know? And so this play is doing so well. It's gotten such great response. We are extending an additional month. We will be at the Music Box until February the 4th.
Yes! Go
Please buy
check
a
this
ticket.
out. What should they know about Pearly Victorious?
Well, number one, that it was written by a great American, Mr. Ossie Davis. He's like, when you think about legendary, inspiring theatricals and writers and orators in this country, Ossie's got to be in your list. And he wrote this play. It hasn't been on Broadway since 1962. And it's about America. I think about Lin a lot when I think about Mr. Davis. These young men writing about their country, what it means, what America means, what America meant to them. And it's a really surprisingly patriotic, joyful, moving experience.
Yeah. Congratulations on this, and I'm going to check you out. Almost surprising you, and you'll see my reaction when you kiss.
All right, bet.
When you kiss that person back. Leslie Odom Jr., everybody. Pearly Victorious is on Broadway right now. For tickets, go to pearlyvictorious.com.
Hey, hey.